Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today I'm joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Quam and Gordon. Hello, fellas.
David,
Hello,
how is
hello.
Hello. How are you guys?
Super.
Doing
Good.
great.
A little sad because Watchathon is coming to an end.
I know. Today
Sure.
is the last day of Watchathon week. And we hope everyone out there has enjoyed your free TV binging as much as we have. But we have a great show for you today. And on today's show, we'll tell you how you can continue enjoying free shows and movies after Watchathon. Quam will go on the record with the songs, albums, and artists he just can't get enough of. We'll be joined by our very special guests, Bill Hader and music icon Bobby Brown. We'll offer up our picks for this year's big winners at the Billboard Music Awards, and we'll help you plan your TV watch list for the week ahead. So, without further ado, let's kick things off with one last check-in on the 2020 edition of Watchathon. It's the final day of Watchathon, and while TV's biggest week may be coming to an end, Xfinity Rewards members can continue to enjoy free shows and movies from select subscription video on-demand networks every month. Starting tomorrow, May 10th through May 31st, Xfinity Rewards members can enjoy free 30-day trials of Dog TV, Lifetime Movie Club, History Vault, Kids Stream, Up Faith and Family, or Stingray Karaoke. And if you're in the mood for an action movie, maybe an all-time classic, Xfinity Rewards members can also enjoy the 1986 Tom Cruise hit Top Gun on Us through May 24th. So if you're not an Xfinity Rewards member, what are you waiting for? Just say Xfinity Rewards into your voice remote to get started signing up. And if you're already a member, just say Watchathon into your remote to keep the binge alive. Guys, it's pretty cool that Top Gun deal is happening for rewards members because it gives you the chance to check out the original movie right before the sequel opens up in a couple weeks.
David, you are such a professional. I have no idea how you avoided the urge to say, "Hey, if you're feeling the need for speed, how did you resist doing that?"
I knew
Because I couldn't. Clearly, I
knew you were going to do it.
Okay, I appreciate that. See, a good host gives to his guests, and you're a good host, David. So we appreciate it.
I try to share the wealth.
I have something to admit. I've never seen Top Gun.
Okay.
Well,
I thought that was gonna be a huge shocker, but I guess that's seems pretty reasonable. Never mind then. I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna be blowing your minds, but yeah, I never seen Top Gun. Heard really great things about it, and definitely excited to check it out.
there's no time like the present, Quam. No time like the present.
Very
And no
true,
time
very
like the
true.
present to feel the need for speed.
It doesn't surprise me. You are the baby of the Hangouts team, so it doesn't surprise me you haven't seen that. You were not born until 20 years after that movie came out.
Okay,
That's
first
not
of all,
true.
don't
There's no
disrespect
way
me.
that's
It was
true.
about
math
almost
is
10
off.
years after. And second of all, I love going back and watching old movies. I've seen Terminator. Okay, I'm not that young. I'm not that removed from TV and movies.
David's basically saying that you were born in 2007.
Oh, it was.
You know,
Oh,
he's
all
treating me
right.
like I'm a Gen Z
He
or
said 20
something,
years
a
after it came out. That was
TikToker.
86, 87.
The disrespect.
Well,
I know,
mean,
Quam's 15, according to David.
Gordon, I appreciate you.
Everyone,
Oh, I appreciate you. And the fast math. Did you see that?
check
Yeah, I saw
out
that.
Human calculator.
Top Gun before the sequel Top Gun Maverick opens in theaters on May 27th. Next up, while you've been getting down and out about the liars and the dirty, dirty cheats of the world, you could have been getting down to these sick beats in a segment called Trending. I know you like that one, Quam. Come on.
I got it. I'm not the music guy, but I got that one.
David, so
Our show is called What to Watch, but it never hurts to give your ears something to look at as well. And nobody I know has a better ear for the hottest new artists, songs, and albums than Xfinity's very own music editor, Quam. So this week, we decided to put him on the record with his 3 picks for the music you need to listen to right now. Kwam, break it down for us.
Thank you, David. And I must say, I have never looked at anything with my ears before, but the fact that you can do that, very impressive. Very impressive. But first off, and what you should be listening to, Pink Panthers, Where Are You? Okay, so if you don't know Pink Panthers, let me fill you in. Pink Panthers is a singer from the UK. She went viral last year with her song on TikTok. I believe it's called Just For You. I'm sure if I played the song, you'll be familiar with it. And she's back with her new single, Where Are You, featuring Willow. I'm in love with this song. It's a nice dance pop / drum and bass song, which is kind of her style. The song is very melancholy, but it's still euphoric in a way. And Willow just continues to impress me with her vocals and how she continues to change styles and the genre she's able to bob and weave in and out of. So definitely check out this song by Pink Panthers. Definitely check out Pink Panthers if you haven't heard of her yet. She's definitely an artist on the rise, and I think she's going to have a big 2022. Next up, Daniel Caesar, Please Do Not Lean. Okay, so Toxicity has never sounded so smooth. Oh my gosh. So Daniel Caesar, if you're not familiar, he's an R&B artist. He's been around for a little bit. If you have not heard of him, please get out of the rock you're underneath. But he is back with his new song, Please Do Not Lean. Essentially, this song is him telling his lover that please do not lean on me. I am emotionally unstable. He is not the one to be loving on. He is admitting to his lover that he's a bit of he's a cheat, essentially, and that if she's trying to find, or they are trying to find, some kind of emotional attachment to him, that he is not the one for it. I'm all for Toxicity, but it never sounded so great. And Daniel Caesar, he's in peak form right now. So definitely check out the song. Please Do Not Lean if you not have yet heard it. And finally, but certainly not least, Kendrick Lamar, he is back. He is back. And I am the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan. So when I heard his announcement, I literally lost my mind. Kendrick Lamar, he is a Grammy Award-winning artist. He is the only rapper to win a Pulitzer Prize. He's a Pulitzer Prize recipient, the only rapper to be so. And he's back with his new album, Mr. Morales and the Big Stepper. This would be his first project in, I think, about 4 years since his album, Damn. And I could not be more excited. Do I know anything about this album? Not at all. I know nothing, and that's pretty much the par for the course for Kendrick Lamar, and that's why I love it. Because one thing about Kendrick, when he returns with music, that means he has something to say. That means he has something to reveal to us, and he's going to be so inspired. And I'm just so excited for this new project. I can't wait to hear it. It comes out May 13th, but you'll be able to listen to that album and all the songs I mentioned in my on the record destination. Just say on the record with your Xfinity voice remote, and you'll be taken to this beautiful destination with these songs and so much more. And so, fellas, have you heard any of these songs yet, or are you looking forward to hearing any of these songs?
I wrote them all down. I'm gonna right when we get done. I gotta tell you,
I never doubted you, Gordon.
I gotta tell you, in entertainment today, we always complain about like remakes or things are so derivative. Daniel Caesar listens to the classic song "Lean on Me," and he's like, "No, the exact opposite. Do not lean on me," which I think takes guts. So I'm looking forward to listening to that.
I love listening to people who know about music talk about music. And man, when I hear you talk about music, it gets me excited about music and like trying new stuff. So like kudos to you, because I like that idea that like Kendrick has something to say, even though I don't consider myself like a Kendrick fan. I'm like, oh, like now I want to know what Kendrick has to say. Like I've never heard anyone kind of break it down like that.
David, I know you're just trying to make up for your comments earlier about me being so young, but I will accept your compliments. So thank you very much. You're making me blush. She's very
gracious for him.
What a great host.
I do. You know that I love Willow, and I keep hearing that one song, Wait a Minute, I think, on like TikTok, but it's like sped up and I can't get it. I like, ooh, wait a minute, I think I lost myself, consciousness in the sixth dimension. Like, I just over and over again in my head.
Goodbye, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Good show. We're not going to do better than that, so let's just call it. We're done.
But you're right. Willow keeps putting out these like hits. You know, I was a huge fan of Meet Me at Our Spot, and now I can't get the Sixth Dimension song out of my head, and now we'll have this one. It's good stuff.
Definitely check her out. Definitely check her out. And Pink Pantheress, Where Are You? David, I think you're really going to like this song. I think you're going to like Pink Pantheress. She's definitely has her own style. She's putting her own flavor on dance pop, mixing in drum and bass. And I definitely think you're going to really enjoy this artist and this song.
I'm ready for it. Well, if you want to check out those songs, as Kwam said, check out his songs, albums, artists, plus more of his handpicked albums, playlists, music, movies, series, and docs. Just say On the Record into your voice remote and be amazed by his musical genius. I'm really making up for saying that you were very young. Next up,
continue.
Everybody's
Kwam. He's going to make fun of my hair before this episode's over because he always does. Don't feel too bad. He always does.
Next up, everybody's talking all this stuff about me in a star-studded double feature edition of Hangouts. HBO's Emmy Award-winning hitman dramedy Barry is back for a third season after a 3-year hiatus, and honestly, it has not missed a beat. And our very own Gordon sat down with the cast of Barry for an all-new episode of Xfinity Hangouts. Gordon, what can you tease about your interview?
So I got to interview Bill Hader and Stephen Root and Anthony Kerrigan, 3 of the stars of Barry. And I was late to the dance. I was not a Barry fan when I was assigned this. So I watched all of episode 1. I watched a recap of episode 2, and then watched the first 4 episodes of season 3. And I'm glad I did. Like, it's fantastic. I'm going to go back and watch all of season 2. It's a really, really interesting show in that it's not just funny. It has like amazing twists. The drama is good, and I kind of got into the weeds with them. I want to know, because Barry's an anti-hero. I wanted to know, can you go too far? Can you lose the audience if you have someone do something like Barry's he wants to do the right thing, but he keeps having to do the wrong thing. Is there a moment where you can go too far doing that? And really fascinating answers from all of them. They have such interesting characters in the show, and then of course Anthony as NoHo Hank is just chef's kiss gold. All the words that leave his face are amazing. So I had a really, really good time with this interview, and let's take a sneak peek at what I have in store for you.
Knowing I've made you sadly.
Can you handle more amazing news?
And yet I ask to be forgiven. Knowing the life that I've been living.
We've both done terrible things in our lives, but everybody deserves a second chance. I believe that you can be the version of yourself that you want to be. I need a purpose.
Forgiveness is something that has to be earned. It's like that line in Shawshank Redemption. Get rich or die trying.
One of the great things about this show is it manages to tie together all of these loose ends. Now, as part of the production crew, being in the writers' rooms, are these things that are intentional, or does it just come up that this might be a good way to get out of this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, we tend to always write ourselves into a corner, and then first day of writing season 3 was, all right, so Kusano knows. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, we do a good job of staying out of spoilers in these. So if you haven't watched Barry, give it a shot. Check out this Hangout. Again, it's just a really fascinating deep dive into what I think has become one of my favorite shows. So whoever's responsible for assigning me this, I super appreciate it.
I think I did.
Did you think? Dave, good host. What did I say?
Do this.
What did I say? Good host.
It probably wasn't Dave. He's probably taking credit.
Yeah. Feel free to make fun of my hair.
I think I did.
All right. Well, then I appreciate it, because now we're fans and we're catching up on season 2. And again, everybody should catch up on it. It's really a fantastic show.
It is, and you're spot on your comments about Anthony Carrigan as NoHo Hank. You might, if you haven't seen Barry, and maybe you saw Bill and Ted Face the Music, he was Dennis the Robot in Bill and Ted Face the Music, and totally stole the show in that too. He's just hilarious.
Well, when I talked about like getting like kind of in the weeds as far as the acting process, I asked him, I'm like, how do you like, because it's easy to be a caricature instead of a character, and a caricature is hilarious, but I'm not going to feel emotions about a caricature. But season 3, like he hit me in the feels, like square in the feels, and that's testament to like, you know, being able to walk that line between, you know, saying amazing things, but also being like the person behind it. So again, like highest marks for Barry, and it was a lot of fun doing that interview.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like it's a show about people trying to find their place in the world, but those people just happen to be hitmen.
Right.
Like even they struggle finding where they belong and wanting like seeking validation and seeking their tribe, and like that's what's so freaking good about it. And like if you want to see like Barry fight a rabid little girl, there's a moment for you in season 2 where he does that and like trashes a supermarket. I mean, it's so awesome.
I'm sure there were a lot of people being like, I'm interested, Gordon, but does he fight a rabid little girl? Good news.
You're in luck. Well, Bill Hader isn't the only big star on today's show. Quam, you sat down for an interview with Grammy Award-winning musician Bobby Brown in anticipation of his upcoming special and series on A&E. As a music guy, was this like just a surreal moment for you?
I mean, it really was. I mean, so I've heard Bobby Brown, listened to his music, but I didn't really know. I knew he was a wild guy, but I didn't really know really how wild he was until I started watching like this docuseries, and I was just like, whoa, this guy, he was something else. But getting the chance to interview him, he's really like, you can see that he's in a really good place, and it was like really awesome to see. He had such great energy, and it was just awesome being able to talk to him and like get his perspective on his own life, on how he creates music, and then just some of the other things that we were also able to talk about. It's hilarious because I never realized how much Bobby Brown looked like Mike Tyson until watching his biography and seeing him so young. I was like, that's Mike Tyson. That's like Mike Tyson's little brother. And then like Mike Tyson comes on screen, like as soon as I started talking about it, I'm like, I just manifested Mike Tyson onto this documentary. You can't tell me I didn't.
I told you Mike Tyson got that tattoo so you could tell them apart.
He really might have. Fun fact. But yes, let's take a look at my interview with Bobby.
He's been called Bad Boy Bobby. Now a jury calls him guilty.
Best thing that came out of Watchathon.
Greatest amongst his peers.
He was arrested for a fist fight at Walt Disney World.
He won a Grammy. Would you like to make a statement to the press?
The biggest misconception of me is that I really give a about what anybody feels.
Everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Why don't they just let me live?
Bobby Brown is electric.
Fire. Phenomenal. Bobby Brown is phenomenal.
Bobby Brown is a cat with more than 9 lives.
Were you nervous at all kind of going in this new direction? I mean, as a musician, especially, you coming off an album that you kind of wanted to be better, there's a lot of expectations with, this follow-up project and to kind of, take it in a completely new direction that no one's done before. It had to be a lot of nerves, right?
Well, I wasn't nervous. I think I was more so excited that there was something new that we were doing, and I couldn't wait for people to hear it, especially my friends, New Edition. I couldn't wait for them to hear it. I wanted to brag as much as possible to them, but I just really waited for them to hear it for themselves.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so awesome being able to talk to him. Were y'all Bobby Brown fans? I mean, I know apparently y'all are ancient, so I'm sure y'all were around when he was, in his heyday.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. He's not wrong. Okay, so our news editor, he knows his music, and he and I have had a hot debate for years as to what Bobby Brown's not his most popular, but his best song is. like most people think it's My Prerogative because that's kind of like his theme song for, they played it during the ad we just saw. But Every Little Step is such a better song. And if you go onto Spotify, you will see that it has more plays than My Prerogative. So, Kwam, you're a music guy. I need your opinion on this. David, you're an old guy like me, so I'd appreciate if you'd weigh in as well.
I think Every Little Step is the better song. Spotify does not lie. So I would agree with you. Every Little Step is the better song. Tom, if you're watching this, you are wrong, my guy.
David? Wait, David?
100% agree that Every Little Step is the better song, without a doubt. And you know this because I've told this to you before, Gordon, but I actually think On Our Own from the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack is a better song than both of them.
All right, you're going a little farther, David. You need to. All right, you might have to take a step back.
So
take a little step back.
Maybe that's just because of my love of Ghostbusters. Gordon loves Ghostbusters too.
You know I'm a Ghostbusters guy, and that song does mention Vigo the Carpathian, so it has that going for it. But Every Little Step is again the chef's kiss. Mwah. The best of Bobby, the best of Bad Boy Bobby.
Do you know how hard it is to rhyme something with Vigo the Carpathian? The man is a genius.
He said, found out about Vigo,
the master of evil.
I don't know if that's a rhyme. Vigo and evil.
It's a slant rhyme, is what they call it.
It's all subjective. It's all subjective.
Although,
but he was actually rhyming. He was rhyming in the interview, and it was like on the spot. And I don't think he was like meaning to do it, but it was just like he was just dropping bars within the interview. I'm like, Bobby, what? How? You're talking about a subject and you're still able to like make a lyric out of it. I don't know. He's amazing.
You should have asked him about Vigo and seen what he had come up with. Maybe in the 20 or so years, he's like, I realized there might be a better rhyme for Vigo. Actually, 30 years. It's been 30 years since On Our Own.
When I saw the clip of that trailer, I was like, wait, where did Bobby Brown get in a fight at Disney World? And I just quickly looked it up. He got in a fight at a club at Pleasure Island. And as someone who used to frequent Pleasure Island, people, regular viewers of What to Watch Live know I used to work at Disney World back in the day, and I used to frequent Pleasure Island. There are a lot of fights that happen, but there's so many clubs. I want to know, did he get in a fight at Motion, at Mannequin? Did he get in a fight at the BET Club, the Beach Club? There were so many options.
When you got into fights, when you got into fights at Disney World, David, what tended to be the club that you would throw down in?
Oh, the Improv Comedy Club. That was a thing too. Yeah, Pleasure Island doesn't exist anymore, but it was like, what are we even doing here? Now we're getting into Pleasure Island. It was a section of all clubs for the kids to go and hang out at, and now it doesn't exist anymore.
You can go back and connect the dots. How we got to Bobby Brown to beating up.
Anyway, season 3 of Barry is airing right now on HBO Max. Biography, Bobby Brown, premieres on A&E May 30th, followed by the new reality series Bobby Brown, Every Little Step. It's not called Bobby Brown, My Prerogative.
It should be.
Premieres on May 31st, and you can check out Gordon and Kwam's full interviews by saying Xfinity Hangouts into your voice remote. Next up, Kwam and I continue our year-long feud over Olivia Rodrigo and Drake in a segment called Editor Picks.
Oh, no.
The 2022 Billboard Music Awards air live from Las Vegas this Sunday, May 15th on NBC. And if you're not quite caught up on all of this year's biggest nominees, don't worry. Kwam has you covered with a specially curated destination to get you hyped for this year's event. Kwam, can you give us the grand tour?
For sure, David. Thank you. And yes, as David mentioned, the Billboard Music Awards will be this Sunday on NBC and Peacock on May 15th. The Weeknd, he leads all nominations with 17, followed by Doja Cat with 14. And some other notable nominees include Justin Bieber, Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, and Olivia Rodrigo. I know David's, favorites. In this destination, you'll be able to see some top past performances from The Weeknd, Beyonce, Bruno Mars. You'll be able to see some of the great nominees, such as the top artists, the Hot 100 songs, and one of my personal favorite categories, the Billboard 200 albums. These titles, these nominee names are just so random sometimes. I think they base it off of the actual charts. But you'll be able to see all these nominations and more just by saying Billboard Music Awards into your Xfinity Voice remote. But I want to get the opinions of David and Gordon, since I know they're music experts in their own right. Who do y'all think will win some of these top nomination categories?
So Gordon and I know a thing or two here about sick beats and killer bops, even
Sure.
in our old age. And I know that you picked 3 of these BBMAs categories for us to predict. What is the first category that we're actually looking at here?
For sure, we're going to look at top artists or best artists, is how we have it named here, that feature Doja Cat, Drake, Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, and The Weeknd. But David, who do you have as your top artist?
So I think it looks like Gordon and I picked the exact same artist here, and it is Olivia Rodrigo. No surprise. And this is going back to our debate we had for the best of 2021 a few months ago. But I mean, who had a better year than Olivia Rodrigo? She starred in Disney Plus series High School Musical, the series. Even though it's a terrible title, she was in it. She performed at the VMAs, the Grammys, on Saturday Night Live. Time named her 2021 Entertainer of the Year. Billboard named her Woman of the Year in 2022. She won 3 Grammy Awards. She had 8 songs on Billboard's Global 200 chart, and according to Billboard, ended 2021 as the best-selling singles artist worldwide. She inspired TikTok videos, Halloween costumes, and basically became a pop culture phenomenon seemingly overnight. Does any of that qualify her to win top artist? I have no idea, but there's a case to be made, and that's the case I'm making. Gordon?
My understanding is that we're going to give our picks, and then Quam's going to tell us what's actually going to happen. David, he's a cerebral guy. He went with his brain. I went with my gut. And I'm going to tell you a little story. The year was 1999. I was on my way to my buddy's house to watch SummerSlam, the main event, Stone Cold Steve Austin against Triple H against Mankind. And I heard a little ditty on the radio called Mambo Number 5. And wow, did it just blow me away. I'm like, this guy's going to be huge. Everybody's going to be singing this about a little bit of Monica and Jessica, etc. And that's kind of how I go with my gut. And the first time I heard her song "Good for You" on the radio, I was like, who is this person? This song is an absolute banger. I think that's the term the kids use these days. And I actually bought that song, which, to get me to spend money on music, doesn't happen anymore, but I needed it for my jogging playlist. And I'm like, this young lady is going to be a star. And then as part of research for this project, I listened to her entire album, and I am pretty confident. When you take David's long list of accolades and my gut, I think Olivia Rodrigo is taking home Artist of the Year. What do you think, Quam?
Well, first, Gordon, stop buying songs. Get Spotify or Apple Music or Pandora, a streaming service.
It was like $1.29.
You do not need to spend money on each individual song anymore. We're in 2022.
I'm the gaming editor at Comcast. I think I can afford $1.29 for a song.
Oh, excuse me. He's getting paid, y'all. That's what he's saying. But I'm happy to say that both of y'all are correct. Olivia Rodrigo is the top artist of the year. I mean, David, for all the reasons you mentioned, she had the biggest year. She literally came out of no. And Gordon,
what about my gut, Juan? What about my gut?
I love your gut, Gordon. But David came with receipts. But I mean, it's undeniable. She kind of just bursted onto the scene and just never let go of the chokehold she had over music. You know, it was first Driver's License, and then Good for You, aka Misery Business by Paramore, but we're not going to talk about that. But even her album was sold really well, and you couldn't escape her. Like David said, she was all over TikTok, all over the radio. Even Gordon heard it. Gordon bought your song. When you have people buying your music,
actual
quite literally
currency.
buying your music, purchasing music,
legal tender.
Legal tender.
That's what
There's no doubt in my mind that she's going to win top artist. And you know me, I am dripping in objectivity. I would love to give it to Doja Cat, but alas, I have to give it to Olivia Rodrigo.
But on the record, it's a great name for your talking about music, but dripping with objectivity. It's got a ring to it.
We need that T-shirt. We need a Quam dripping in objectivity T-shirt. Just like Scott's I've chartered yachts T-shirt.
Scott's I've chartered yachts.
I'd also go for a Quam loves Gordon's gut T-shirt while we're throwing out ideas. The merch, we're gonna be rolling. I can buy all the songs I want with the merch money that's gonna be rolling in.
Yeah,
we're all gonna be rich. I cannot lie. I did not come up with that term. I have to shout out Nick Wright, who's a sports analyst. But that's besides the point. Next, we are talking about the top album of the year, which feature some great albums such as Adele's 30, Doja Cat's Planet Her, Drake's Certified Lover Boy, which wasn't that great, Morgan Wallen's Dangerous album, the double album. It's a terrible name. Olivia Rodrigo's Sour. And again, I want to get y'all opinions. Who do y'all think will win top album of the year?
Did we pick the same album again?
I think we did.
Folks out there, we did this secretly, so we didn't.
But
actually
we were
know
right. We were
who
right
picked.
before.
Since Gordon, since Quam just roasted you so hard in the last segment, I'm not going to point out that you said you had a visceral reaction to Mambo number 5.
What? Look, I don't like to dance. I'm not a dancer. But when my toe starts tapping in my car, listening to like that to me is like he's on to something. So, and Lou Bega, he went on to be the biggest artist of all time. So clearly I was in the right. So.
You're right.
Clearly not a hyperbolic
So I went with Olivia Rodrigo's Sour. She received a Grammy nomination for Best Album, but lost to John Batiste. Doja Cat was the only other artist in this category who was also nominated for Best Album at the Grammys. And so with John Batiste out of the way, I think Olivia has a clear path for victory. Sour also won Album of the Year at People's Choice Awards and Best Pop Vocal Album at the Grammys. And the album spent 5 non-consecutive weeks at the top of the Billboard 200 list. So I think that's why she takes it. What do you think, Gordon?
Again, David with the facts and me with my thoughts. I like, good for you. It's just I love a great "you broke up with me and screw you" kind of song. And then just there was like she just went a bunch of different places. So I don't know how to, judging music to me is kind of difficult. You either feel it or you don't. And I enjoyed a lot of the other albums, but like that's the one that just stood out to me. And as we've learned, my gut is 100% correct. So I'm anxious for Quam to tell me that I'm right again.
Well, Gordon, I'm sorry to break it to you, but your gut is not always 100% correct. And I'm sorry to tell y'all, this is not the top album of the year. In regards to the billboards, so based off the billboards, they want to go off of who sold the best plus quality. And with that in mind, I cannot not give it to Adele's 30. It's sold so much, easily the best-selling album of 2021. Maybe that's because it was her big return, maybe because she had so much to talk about. But even sonically, the album was, to me, great. I've never been the biggest Adele fan. I thought she's been a little overrated in her career, but 30 was definitely the album that kind of won me over with her vulnerability, her switch up in just overall music style, some of the voice inflections she was doing on a lot of the tracks within the album. And again, it's sold so well that I just think it's going to win, top album of the year or Billboard 200 album, as they would they name it. But again, I'm dripping in objectivity, and so I cannot tell a lie. It's going to win the best album, and Sour is a great choice. I understand, David, why you would choose Sour. Gordon, I thought you would have went in a different direction, but unfortunately, you disappointed me. But it's okay. It's okay. We're going to move forward.
I'll be the first one to say I love that song Adele sung about being heartbroken.
That's like every song.
I think. Oh yeah, it's like that Mariah Carey song about love. That's my favorite song, the one she sings about love.
Well, I would say in this instance, it was justified for her to be heartbroken in the sense that she's going through a divorce, and it's a very turbulent time in her life. I don't know what what was going on in her life in the other albums. I'm pretty sure she was actually in love, so it was kind of like, are you really singing about heartbreaks and you're in love? Sounds, if I was her lover, I'd be like, whoa, I'm doing all these nice things for you, but here you are saying I'm rolling in the deep. Like, no, come on, please. I for this album,
Adele in a good mood
justified.
does not sell.
No, it does not. We will never know though, because she's never in a good mood. But on to the next category, the last category, the most important
She's gonna be so mad.
category.
She's gonna be so mad.
If she ever sees this, she's like, "Who
Sorry,
is that
Adele.
Quam fellow?" That's my British accent. It was terrible.
Spot on impression.
It was terrible. I don't do accents for a reason. They're awful. But the most important category, top song, Hot 100 song, as they name it, and it features names like, again, Olivia Rodrigo's "Good for You," Doja Cat's "Kiss Me More," Dua Lipa's "Levitating," The Kid Laroi "Stay" featuring Justin Bieber, and The Weeknd and Ariana Grande "Save Your Tears." And I've started with David a few times, and so now I'm gonna start with Gordon.
Did we pick the same thing again?
Oh my gosh!
Music buddies. That's us.
Music
So
buddies.
my
They
relationship.
Collusion.
My relationship with modern music is very much, I listen to the radio, so I will hear a song a million times and not know the title or who sang it. So when you sung it, who performed it? There we go. So when you send us the titles to look through, I went through YouTube and listened to each song, and I'm like, oh, I know this. Oh, I know this. I know this. And you would think I would go with the song that I ponied up $1.29 to have on my jogging playlist, but I didn't, because like you mentioned, Olivia Rodrigo's "Good for You," there was some controversy where it sounded like a Paramore song, and it does. So I think they would not give her this award based on that. So based on the other four songs, Dua Lipa's "Levitating," that one really got to me. Got my toe tapping, and I listened to my gut and I listened to my toe. So my pick is Dua Lipa's "Levitating."
That is also my pick, and I'll never forget the way I felt the first time I heard Aqua's "Barbie Girl." It just got into my soul, and because of that, that reminds me the way I felt when I saw
Barbie Girl. Not Barbie Girl.
David's like, I'm gonna give Gordon's hair a pass this episode, but I'm gonna make fun of how he feels about Mama number 5.
But I agree with you though, Gordon. I thought the same thing about the Misery Business tie-in. Like, it seems like that will hurt her, I think, in this category. And even though I spent the last 10 minutes praising Olivia Rodrigo, I love this Dua Lipa song. Yeah. And even though Olivia was everywhere, last year, "Levitating" was one of those hot girl summer anthems that just like gets into your veins, even when you're not a hot girl and even when it's not summer. So I actually like Dua's music more than Olivia's, like in total. I think she should take this. Like, this was just a great song. And if not Dua, I'd say it should go to Doja Cat's "Kiss Me More Honestly," and I know that's what Quam picked as the song. I'm almost positive.
Davey, you know me too well. And by the way, we all can be hot girls, okay? It's a hot girl summer. It's approaching. Get ready. But honestly, and I'm conflicted because my heart and my guts, as Gordon would say, is choosing Doja Cat's "Kiss Me More" because that is my hot girl anthem of last summer. It will be my hot girl anthem of every summer going forward because it's just so great and I love it so much. But I am dripping in objectivity and I cannot tell a lie. It is "Good for You" because darn it, that song was just everywhere. It went viral. It was number 1 for so long. And again, this is the Billboards, and they're basing off their own charts. And no other song was bigger than "Good for You" that year. The only competition I could see is "Easy on Me" by Adele, and for some reason that wasn't nominated. So very weird choice. They nominated her album, but not her biggest song. I don't get it. But if it's not Adele's song, then it has to be Olivia Rodrigo's song. If the Billboards would have "Do Right" by Quam though and David, they will choose "Kiss Me More." definitely not Levitating. This wasn't even Dua Lipa's best song on the album, let alone one of my favorite Dua Lipa songs. It's definitely not the choice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to y'all.
What's the best song on her album? I'm curious what you think. What is the best song?
Hold on. I'm
Personally, I think that the Sixth Dimension song should have been nominated.
Pretty Please. Pretty Please. That song is so
Pretty
old.
Please.
Pretty Please. That's my song.
More singing.
Pretty Please.
I didn't make it a TikTok hit.
More singing.
It's a TikTok hit. I didn't decide it. It's just happening now. All right. The Billboard Music Awards air live May 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC. To check out the show or explore this year's nominees, just say Billboard Music Awards into your voice remote. And before we head out for the week, as always, we're here to help you organize your TV watch list in a segment called Plan Ahead. In this week's premieres, Jessica Biel, Tom Hiddleston, Claire Danes, and Emmy winner Jean Smart all return to TV. It's a big week for big stars on the small screen, and Kwam is going to tell us all about it. Take it away, Kwam.
Coming to Hulu is the new limited series called Candy. Starring Jessica Biel as the titular Texas housewife, this crime thriller tells the real-life story of Candy Montgomery. Candy was a woman who was accused of murdering her friend, who also happened to be the spouse of the man with whom she was having an affair with. Candy will premiere on Hulu on May 9th. Also premiering on May 9th is the third season of the FX dark comedy Breeders. This series explores the bittersweet struggles of modern parenthood. In this honest and uncompromising comedy, Paul and Allie are juggling full-time careers, adulthood, upheavals in their relationship, and the curveballs of parenting their young children. Breeders returns to FX on May 9th. The HBO Max comedy drama series Hacks will be making its season 2 return. Hacks follows the dark mentorship between legendary Las Vegas comedian Deborah Vance and her young entitled writer Ava. When the casino Deborah performs at wants to cut down her performance dates, Deborah and Ava reluctantly team up. Hacks comes back to HBO Max on May 12th. Apple TV Plus will be premiering a new series called The Essex Serpent. Based on the novel of the same name, The Essex Serpent follows London widow Cora Seaborn. Cora moves to Essex to investigate reports of a mythical snake, but when tragedy strikes, locals accuse her of attracting the creature. The Essex Serpent will premiere on Apple TV on May 13th. Finally, the upcoming legal drama series, The Lincoln Lawyer, will be coming to Netflix. Based on the 2008 novel The Brass Verdict, the series follows Mickey Haler, who is a defense attorney in Los Angeles. Mickey works out of a chauffeur-driven Lincoln town car rather than a traditional office as he takes cases throughout Los Angeles. The Lincoln Lawyer will premiere on Netflix on May 13th.
And in this week's finales, America picks its favorite song, Eric Stonestreet crowns a domino champion, and Queen Latifah hopefully gets a much-deserved vacation. I mean, she's just been going nonstop in this crime-fighting business. Gordon, give us the details.
All good things must come to an end, and so too must the finales of our favorite shows. Here's what we have for this upcoming week. Kicking it off, Monday, May 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is the culmination of the American Song Contest on NBC. Snoop D.O. Double G and Kelly D.O. Double Clarkson are going to crown a winner. We're going to find out which state is the most great, which ditty is the most pretty, which song did the least wrong. That's terrible. I apologize. Anywho, the final 10 performers are going to battle it out musically. Tuesday, May 10th, don't miss the 2-hour finale of Season 1 of Naomi on the CW. That's starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Witness Naomi finally squaring off against the powerful being that has been stalking her since birth. Then, Wednesday, May 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Domino Masters is going to crown a grand champion. Who will be able to pair an impressive imagination with a steady hand and take home not only the cash prize, but the title of Domino Master. You're going to have to tune in to find out to see who's going to claim that prize. Then, on Friday, the Black Lady Sketch Show takes a bow on HBO Max. That's May 13th at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And hats off to a fantastic Season 3. Surely this hilarious troupe has saved for the best for last, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us. And finally, the final finale, The Equalizer finishes up their Season 2 on Sunday, May 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. Will McCall's determination to bust the person responsible for Bishop's death cost her everything? I certainly hope not, but I'll be on the edge of my seat waiting to find out.
Will it cost her everything? We'll find out. And that will do it for today's show. Thanks to our very special guests, Bill Hader and Bobby Brown, for joining us. Even bigger thanks to my fellow Xfinity editors, Quam and Gordon, for hanging out with me this week. And special shout outs to our producers, Brad, Aaron, and everyone else behind the scenes for keeping this engine running. We are off next week, but we will be back for a new show on Monday, May 23rd at 4 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, if you want to check out the TV shows and movies we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities, just say what to watch into your voice remote, or tune in here every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. My name is David. Thank you for joining us on What to Watch Live.